Hello and welcome to this Astranti video. Today we'll be talking you through the importance of time management in your OCS and MCS exams. In both of these exams you have 3 hours to answer questions from 4 sections. And as you're up against the clock, it's crucial that you plan your timings prior to your exam. But that's where we come in. In a minute we'll give you our suggestions for how best to utilise your time. This is an extract from our exam technique series, and if you want to view the full video you can find this on the Astranti website as part of our full MCS course. But for now let's jump straight in and tackle the crucial issue of OCS and MCS exam timing.
And time management is such a problem for students. It really is. I've been teaching this exam for many years, and one of the most common and most consistent complaints from students is they struggle with their time management, and many students fail to complete their first mock on time. So if you imagine the students who don't take any mocks, where they are sitting the exam for the first time on the actual exam day, then they're really going to struggle. They're going to fail to complete the exam on exam day. So it's not surprising that so many students fail. And it must form part of your plan to manage your time effectively to ensure you have enough time to cover the entire question. So let's look at an example of how we would use time in our plan. So we've got 45 minutes. It's a 45-minute question. But we need to use 25% of our time planning, and that works out as 11 minutes. And you have to do that. It will save you a lot of time down the road. Thinking back to the section we just looked at, where we said that having some redundancies now will save time and money and job losses in the future. That's almost the same thing here. It may cost us more time to plan earlier on, but it will save us lots of time as we continue through the question. So you've got 34 minutes once you deduct that 11 minutes for planning. And we've got a 40% question, remember. So we need to multiply 40% by that 34 minutes, and that gives us 40 minutes to write an answer to this question we have been planning. And brought up the parts here, the components, I haven't broken them down as we are just applying the time to the overall headers. So we've got our introduction and conclusion and our 4 suggestions. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is plan your time for this question. How would you break down the time given that we've got 1 mark for our introduction and conclusion and 2 marks for each of our suggestions? And given that if we look at the time that we have available, if we have 34 minutes and we have 25 marks, that works out at around 1.4 minutes per mark. Now, we can't allocate 1.4 minutes per mark, so there is a bit of rounding and there is a bit of estimation. So it's not an exact science again. And what I've gone for here is spending 1 minute on the introduction and conclusion, as these are the quick paragraphs, and then I've given 3 minutes for the 2 marks that we are going to write for each suggestion. So whether you want to have 1.5 minutes for the explanation and 1.5 minutes for the application, or 1 minute for the explanation and 2 minutes for the application, is up to you. But that's how I would break this down. And not only is this important for keeping you on track, I'm going to show you now why it's so important to stop you from running out of time, and why you have to monitor your time effectively. And if you go over in early sections, you are going to not only not have enough time to finish off your answer, you may not be able to write anything on the later sections in your paper, and that's not going to give you the marks. So if I break this down, and let's say we start with 34 minutes. We've got 34 minutes left when we start this, and we are going to allocate this time effectively. By the time we've done our introduction, we've now got 33 minutes left. By the time we've done suggestion 1, we've got 30 minutes left, then 27 minutes left, 24 minutes left, and so on. And that means we end up finishing with 20 minutes left. And that 20 minutes is the time we will have allocated to write the second requirement, which is the larger requirement, the 60%. And that one is actually going to be worth more marks. Given that this is a 25-mark question and we've got our 10-mark question here, that's 15 marks available for that next section, which we have allocated 20 minutes for. Now, if we start that with 20 minutes left, we'll have a good attempt at getting most of those 15 marks. However, what if we overrun by a minute here, and a minute here, and a minute here, and so on, and as a result, we actually only start the second requirement with 12 minutes left. Now, it was difficult enough to get 15 marks worth of material written in 20 minutes. How about writing 15 marks worth of material in 15 minutes or 12 minutes? That's going to be really difficult. In fact, it's not going to happen. And remember that it's not about how well you answer the first sub-requirement, it's about how well you answer the entire question. You're not going to get enough marks if you spend all your time on the first section. And that is why it's so important to factor in the timing, monitor your time, make sure you don't go over. And that's how you write an effective answer.
So we've now come to the end of today's video, and you should now feel more confident going into your CIMA case study exams. Remember, if you want to view the full video, you can do so on the Astranti website as part of our full course. But that's not all we offer. Our case study students have access to our analysis of the pre-scene, question packs, study guides, masterclasses, as well as mock exams and feedback, helping you to be well equipped for your case study exams. If you've enjoyed this video, why not subscribe to our social media accounts? We can be found on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and of course here on YouTube, where we upload new videos twice a week. Thanks for watching.